There are many challenges with regard to water supply and sanitation in urban India, and the problems also will vary from region to region, state to state, city to city. One, of course, is the problem of supplying adequate, safe drinking water. It's not just drinking water, but safe drinking water. And it's not safe everywhere. The quality of water is again to be kept in mind. That is one. And secondly, the question of distribution. See, even where there is adequate water, for instance, in a city, you find that all parts of the town or the city don't get, adequate quantities of water. So equitable distribution of water is another important issue. The third issue pertains to, the cost of, supplying and managing entire water systems, both on the capital expenditure side and on the revenue side. And a related issue is the question of tariffs, water pricing. I think that is a very critical problem all over India, because, water tariffs are not raised or revised from time to time as may be required for various reasons. It may be administrative, political, or whatever it is. So that is going to be a very major problem even in future unless we tackle it. That is one. The final issue pertains to the institutional and management of the entire water systems everywhere, because now there are two levels of management. One is at the local level, you have the municipality or the urban local body, which is the authority to manage water, even under the 74th Constitutional Amendment. That's the elected local body. At the same time, in larger cities, we have water supply boards, water and sewerage boards, which is more a semi-government or a parastatal body, and it is not an elected body. So there are conflicts in these, and the capacity of these institutions is again a very major issue, especially urban local bodies. They do not have adequate trained staff. Some of them don't have adequate staff at all, especially trained in water supply and sewerage. This is another important issue. And so ultimately one has to look at all this holistically. It's not, you can't look at one issue in isolation and say, this is the solution. And these days we are talking about continuous or 24/7 water supply. That I will not say is a major issue, but that may be a goal, that towards which we should move, but that will again vary from place to place. So one of the constraints, especially in the question of revision of water tariffs, etc., we find there are political problems in the sense, there is the willingness to charge is a problem, unlike the willingness to pay is what we usually talk about. So even where people are prepared to pay, there is no willingness to charge. That is one sort of a problem. And the second, at the institutional side, even if they want to respond, the capacity has to be built up. The municipalities, their elected bodies, especially smaller towns, it's much greater problem. So there is need for a lot of education and training in this aspect, creating awareness. Even at the political level, people must become aware of the problems. It's very often it is ignorance, so that you do not know how much it costs to supply water, what are the operational problems, what are the costs involved, and what would be the consequences if water supply breaks down. Say cities can collapse in the absence of water supply. So this is the urgency to respond to these issues is important, which means you need to create awareness. In the first place, even this kind of round tables or brainstorming sessions that will generate ideas, and you come to know the problems, etc. And they need to take up these issues. For instance, research in many of these issues that have come out itself can be one, so that there is adequate data and knowledge on the subject. So very often we find that you are not able to find solutions because of lack of adequate information, data, etc. That is one. And capacity building and training, which I think IIHS is really doing that. I mean, either through the regular courses of, degree or postgraduate degree courses, or even other kind of programs where you are able to bring together different stakeholders